What's up, guys? It's Eddie the Chump here. Today we've got something a little different for you. This is a long discussion between me and Lurker Zero about Destiny Year 2, and obviously you guys know I've been playing that a lot. Some of my PC brethren aren't too happy about me playing such a casual game, but there we go. So this is about 50 minutes of discussion with Lurker. I really like him, by the way. Check out Lurker Zero. His links are in the description. If this isn't your thing and you're not massively into Destiny, I obviously don't mind you skipping this video. This is just, like, I wanted to get all my thoughts about it, like, out in one video in discussion with somebody else who plays the game a lot. So that's what this video is going to be. Remember, follow and subscribe to Lurker Zero, and if you are here for the long haul, I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you again soon. Okay, so Destiny, Year 2. So, you know me as a bit of a Destiny hater, and now I'm having to eat my words. I'm having to eat my words. What do you think about that? That must amuse you a little bit.
No, because I was on the same boat, dude. Like, I legitimately did not like this game for a very long time. It lost me after the last expansion.
See, I played Year 1, like, right when it came out, and I was liking it up until I finished the main story, and I was like, what, wait, that's it?
Yeah.
So I had less, even less than you, like, interest in playing the game, and I shat on it all the time, as much as I could, like, on LCP and on my channel. I was like, I tell you the reason why, and to Destiny fans out there who are like, who's this COD cunt who used to hate the game and now likes it? The reason why I gave it so much shit was I really felt like it was a fucking rip-off, actually. It was more out of, like, some consumer watchdog type thing, like, this is a rip-off, this isn't a game, right? And I came to Year 2, I think much like you, like, I checked it out, the 2.0 patch, checked it out, and it made it all so much more simple. I mean, is that a similar experience to what you had?
Sort of. It's just, like, I kind of agree with you, and a lot of people have based their entire channels around the idea that the game's a ripoff, and it's like a whole consumer lookout thing, but I came into it and did try the patch 2.0. I was even playing a little bit before that because I had read articles about all of the things they're going to do, or they did do to, like, they reordered all of the Year 1 story and, like, re-recorded all the voiceovers and, like, did a lot of things to remedy all those mistakes that people really, really hated about the game,
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, they're making a genuine effort here, so I'll give it a shot. And I don't know, man, like, to me, Taken King is the biggest turnaround I've almost ever seen in a game. It seems like it's crazy that they could get that much done and to address that much fan feedback in one, like, DLC release,
Yeah, it's crazy to me. Like, I suppose that shows how jaded we are, right? With with, like, developers saying they're going to do stuff and then making it worse. Like, I mean, it's Bungie, right? So, mate, I don't have a huge experience with Bungie because I'm not, as I say, like, a Halo fan necessarily. I like the Halo that everyone else hates. I like Halo 4.
Yeah.
Because it had sprinting in it and Regicide was amazing. But I did like the format in that game. But that wasn't even Bungie. So I'm like you. I expected all these changes they're writing in their blog posts to not really happen, or to be done ineffectively in a way that I would associate with a COD developer. Let's just put it that way. I'm used to COD patches, and okay, so you fix this one thing and it broke 7 other things. That's great. I'll just slog my way through it.
Yeah.
Like, I came to this game like, okay, so for those of you watching this channel, you know how much shit I've given Destiny, and some of the things are still true. I still maintain there are some things I said about it back then and still say now that are true. Number one is, like, this isn't to do with the Taken King, but, like, 30 frames per second in today's day and age it's not great. I play PC. I tell you what I'd really love, Lurker. I'd love a version of this game with 90 FOV and 120 frames a second with mouse and keyboard, that isn't through a Zim and all that kind of stuff. I would love that game. That game would probably be one of my favorite games of all time. But this isn't quite that. Obviously, it's a console game, so I don't know. Like,
yeah, peasant problems for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you being a Halo guy, I don't suppose that the controls ever grated with you that much.
No, that's the thing, is that there's definitely it's crafted really well, and the fact that it's made to satisfy COD players and Halo players kind of in some kind of amalgamation, you know what I mean? So there's enough Halo in there that I acclimated to it really quickly, I would say.
Yeah.
So you're always talking about the slow turn radius, and that doesn't bother me very much. I like the base speed's a little sluggish, but it's still like it works out well for me. And the auto aim is absolutely absurd in this game. It's like the most absurd thing ever.
It's crazy.
Sniping, like I don't think a lot of people, because the shotguns are so ridiculous, I don't think a lot of people give sniping a chance, but it's like absurdly easy in this game.
Yeah, it's weird for me. Okay, so let's talk about the controls in depth. So I have this principle, because I play shooters on PC. I have this principle: do not fuck with my aim.
Yeah.
Right. I want to anything that I do that's cool, I want to be because it's me. So the aim assist is a problem, but that's a console environment, so I let that slide, right? Okay, I have to let that go. It's a console environment, that's never going to happen. All right.
And it's like it's a casual game. Like
it's a casual.
No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like an ultra casual game.
Yeah, it's the most casual shooter ever, I think. In some kind of ways, I think it's like all the things that casuals like, like the PvE of Destiny being you go and get cool loot and shit, and then like if you're like me, you're like, I wonder how good this is in PvP. Now a lot of Destiny fans aren't like that, actually. A lot of them only play the PvE, but I don't. I play predominantly the PvE, and when I play the PvP, sorry, and when I play PvE, it's to try and get a better gun. Now I don't know how much that ratio is for you, but I mean, could you tell me about it?
Yeah, it really skews for me more towards PvE. I play my fair share of PvP. A lot of my friends won't play it, and I hate playing it solo pretty much. I like always want to go in with at least one or two other people because it can snowball so fast on you. But I like the PvE because I like the raids. Like the raids are incredible in my opinion. Have you played any of them yet?
Yeah, I did. I've played Crota, but I haven't played any of the others. I haven't done the new one either because I've been grinding for light. Listen to me. Sound like a Destiny. Someone listen to it. It sickens me. You have no idea.
I got Dell into this game. Like if that says anything, Dell is interested in talking all the same Destiny like crap that we always talk. Like he's like, the other day he was like, I got this invective drop and it was a legendary engram that turned into invective, dude. This thing's really good, right? And I was like, what the fuck? Who's talking like this? Like I don't understand you anymore.
It's weird, right? I know Dell Operator, right?
Yeah,
and he's a hardcore Halo guy, comes from the competitive scene, wants everything to be Halo 2. I mean, I'm joking, Dell. Like that is a joke. But, like that's how how I figure you in my head. You're a competitive gamer, right?
Yeah.
And you're playing like the most casual game ever. And something odd that I've noticed as well is something that I've appreciated since playing other games other than COD. Like, so when I first played Destiny, when I played shooters, I had a very COD mentality. And that's not in all the negative ways that you associate with fucking COD dickheads, right? What I mean by that is that I'm used to being able to carry on my own in a competitive environment. That's the mindset, right? So if I'm better than these other people, I should be able to carry. And Destiny is much like Halo. Destiny is much harder to do that in, but for different reasons. Halo's difficult to do that in because of team shooting, because generally the people that play it are more organized and they're into Halo. It's a niche game at this point. I mean, no insult by that.
Oh, no,
I mean,
no.
The people that you're playing against have played it for a long time. Whereas Destiny has that team shoot element of Halo, but it also has these ridiculous, for me, by far and away, the most frustrating thing. We're going to get into multiplayer frustrations now, Lurker.
All right, I'm ready.
Right, so number one, I think, on my list of things that I, could do without is just the amount and effectiveness of grenades. To me, they're fucking everywhere, all the time. And sometimes you don't know what's a friendly grenade, what's an unfriendly grenade. Not only do they kill you if they explode by your feet, but some of them linger and have area of effect.
And fucking follow you and shit.
Yeah, some of them even follow you round corners. I'm like, does this need this? Is this needed? I can see it in PvE. I can see, all right, you got cool abilities like you're a warlock, you're a type of witch, titan, whatever. Okay, cool, fine. But in PvP, come on, man. The grenades are fucking out of order. I mean, I don't know. What do you think about them?
No, they're absolutely absurd. Like, absolutely absurd. And it's funny because, like, I always one of the things I always loved about Halo was the grenades, because they're super simple, but they have like a bit of a skill curve, you know, like you have to bounce them and they blow up earlier, and you have to kind of, you know, figure your angles and stuff. But like Destiny nades, it's like, no, we'll do the work for you, bro. Don't worry about it. Take a seat, hang out with your Felwinter's Lie. We got the grenades. We'll do it for you. Like they follow you around.
Totally triggered me, by the way, by mentioning that gun. Totally triggered me.
Yeah, no,
right.
There's plenty of trigger-worthy moments in Destiny PvP, but the yeah, dude, like they follow you around corners. There's the area of effect ones, and you can get perks that make them linger longer or have a larger blast radius. Like there's just an absurd amount of unpredictability with the grenades. And I mean, that's the way I would classify all of the PvP, is that it's super fun and it's super like almost like Modern Warfare 2 style pub stompy sometimes.
Yeah, I can see that comparison. Not in how the game plays, but not in how it feels when
like
you're controlling it.
Escalation.
Yeah, like how things just, there was no one on my radar, and suddenly, out of nowhere, like 15 people RKO me with heavy ammo and grenades and supers and all this shit. Just It gets well out of hand really quickly. Right, so grenades, big trigger for me. The biggest trigger, I think, probably the thing that annoys me the most, is the shotgun meta, right? And how the shotguns fuck with an otherwise fun experience for me. So I'll take you back to when I first played Destiny and I said it was shit. And I always remember saying this, is that I like the gunfights, right? I like the gun-on-gun aspect of Destiny. It's kind of cool feeling that people have a bit more health and you take them out, and gunfights are a little bit more drawn out, and whoever's got the best strafe wins. And, you know, that's something I'm used to from CSGO and other games, you know, where strafing's really important. Yeah. Now, I always like that. I said that all this other shit gets in the way. And the biggest thing that gets in the way for me is certain shotguns. Because not all shotguns are the same, right? Certain shotguns with shot package are outrageous. Outrageously overpowered. And you quite regularly see people only using their Felwinter's Lie. Quite regularly, depending on the map. They're not going to do it on the fucking Moonbase, but they'll do it, you know, on most other maps. Like, how do you feel about it? Because it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's even worse, too, because in the patch notes for 2.0, they were like, nerfing rangefinder, nerfing shot package, like, all of those perks won't be very usable on high impact, like, long-range shotguns. But it's like, there's no change at all, dude. Like, I have the same Felwinters I've had since it first came to Iron Banner, and it's still just, it reaches across planets, dude. It's absolutely disgusting. I mean, carry on. Sorry, I crossed over your thought there. It, in a sense, like, slows the whole game down, because everyone's afraid to go around a corner now. Like, everyone's always, like, waiting for that guy with the Felwinters around the corner. And it's like, it's super disappointing, because, like you said, the rest of the game works so well, in my opinion. Like, the straight-up gunfights, again, it hits that sweet spot for me, where it's, like, just enough COD, just enough Halo, where, you know, fights aren't protracted and it's not a full team shot game, but, you know, if you outstrafe someone, you're going to destroy them. Like, it's going to feel really satisfying. And like you said, the shotgun meta kind of ruins that. It kind of lessens and waters down those kind of gunfights, because most of the time it's just a guy who knows that a one-shot kill with a shotgun is going to work out better than him having to win a gunfight, you know?
Yeah, I mean, this is the shotgun meta post-Blink Strike nerf, right? Yeah. So Blink shotgunning has gone, thank fuck, but I still find the shotguns an irritant, because I know what you mean about slowing the game down. I always thought Destiny was kind of slow anyway because of the active radar on all the time, right? So it's a very it's better to move forward and try and get someone to peek than it is to peek, right? Yeah. It's much better to try and wrong foot your opponent into peeking you than it is to peek them. It's not really that kind of game. COD is different, right? You get peeker's advantage. You know, you come around the corner and see them before they see you, all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of the same in most games, but in Destiny it feels like it's a counter-punch game. Like, that's what it feels like to me. I always do best when I play counter-punchy like that, where I let people peek me and then just melt them. And although I don't like playing like that, because that's not how I play in COD, CSGO has taught me otherwise. Right?
Yeah. So, yeah. It's very much about zoning. It's kind of, that's the way Halo's kind of always you excel at too, or it is about zoning people off and like using those ridiculous nades to funnel people where you want them to go. And yeah, if you play defensively, you're going to do better, especially like I said, if you're using a sniper too, because then you can play even more, like you can use your teammates even more to like check those high traffic areas, you know, and not put yourself in danger of being shotgunned down.
Yeah, I mean, talking specifically about why it being a counter peaky game is so annoying, why the shotguns are so annoying to a game that's met as kind of like that, is that you can get them to peek you, but if they just sprint at you and slide with a shotgun, like most shotguns are okay, they have to be very close to kill you, kind of like the Halo shotgun, right?
Mm-hmm.
But some shotguns in the game, and these are the ones you only ever see, because the only people still using them are the people that have them. Fellwinter's Lie, Party Crasher +1, all these kind of fucking ridiculous shotguns. They just run at you, and you cannot kill them, even with all headshots before they fire. You cannot. They will kill you in one shot. And that's an incredibly annoying thing to happen when you don't know what gun they've got when they're round the corner. And it's just something that completely triggers me. And something that I find a lot of people who are the same kind of people that will nerf their own connection, you know, to a red bar. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but people will nerf their own connection knowing that you can't hit them and use a Fellwinter's Lie. And that is the lowest of the low I think I've ever seen. DDoSing in League play, I think, took the biscuit up until this. But this is like in a casual fucking shooter.
I know, right?
And these people are doing this. But yeah, I mean, what do you think about the new supers? How do you feel about them? Do you like using them, or do they annoy you?
PvP or PvE or altogether?
Altogether.
I run a hunter mainly, and the Night Stalkers in PvE for sure is absolutely incredible. Like, it's insanely good. It's so fun. It makes hunters that generally didn't have a place in PvE very much way more useful and more utilitarian. And then I actually think it's really good in PvP too. Like,
it's a lot better than I thought it was when I first used it. Let's put it that way. It is actually useful.
Yeah, when you see the trailer, when I first saw the trailers for the new subclasses, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, the dude Sith lightnings people and the other guy can throw hammers and shit, and I just get like a bow that tethers stuff. Like, that's gonna be the worst one. And then you play it and you get that little shade step roll, that little side step roll, which is amazing, and you get like all the zoning grenades and the smoke grenades and the freaking ninja vanish grenade that you throw on the ground and, you know, become invisible. I love all that stuff.
I run a hunter too, and in PvE, that's the one I use. I don't use the Blade Dancer or the fucking solar golden gun guy. I just wanted to talk about PvP quickly when it comes to supers. Is that Hammer of Soul super overpowered, in your opinion?
I mean, I've seen it do some work. There's a few things that I've sort of learned, and that's that you really have to listen to audio cues in Destiny. So when I hear like the noise it makes, you know, like that ka-ching, that is
the anvil sound.
Yeah, it's really, really noticeable. So when I hear it, I just turn and run the other way. Like, I run across the map.
So do I. So do I now.
I don't even fuck with that shit, dude. Like, I just run across the map. It's the same with a Blade Dancer or something like that. I don't even try to like snipe him or like, you know, engage in any way. I just turn around and run.
Okay, so I use Blade Dancer in PvP, and not for the reason you might think. I would prefer to use the Golden Gun, but I use Blade Dancer because they get the passive quick draw, and you're very fast, and you come out of sprint quickly. So for me, that's what I wanted to use. I think that should be default. How quick it is with that character and that setup with the quick draw, that's how quick everyone should be. I think it would be a better game if you didn't like lumber out of sprint. I fucking hate that shit. It drives me crazy. But yeah, so I use that. The Blade Dancer is nowhere near as good as it used to be. It seems like you take less to be just shot to death.
Yeah.
It still lasts the same amount of time, and the blade is still fucking sick and fun to use, but you're much squishier.
Yeah.
Whereas compared to the fucking Palpatine over here and the Hammer of Soul, the Hammer of Soul is a complete trigger. I'm just gonna tell everyone now that people who use the Hammer of Soul die, please, in some sort of horrible house fight. No, don't die. I don't mean that, but like it really irritates me. Number one is, these are the reasons why I think the new subclasses, especially the Warlock and Titan, make the Hunter shit. Number one is they last a lot longer. All right, now that can be changed with like what passives you have, you know, like
kills with this make it last longer. I'm sure they last longer just default, right? Number 2 is they both take an absolute kicking when they're activated special. You can't kill them with normal guns. You have no chance, right? You can kill them with a rocket, but you've got no chance otherwise.
Fellwinter's beats everything.
Well, that's true actually, but I don't have one, so unfortunately I'm just over here playing my tiny violin without a Fellwinter's light. So here's the thing that triggered me about especially the Hammer of Soul is I use a Blade Dancer. I had full health and I charge at a group. I killed 2, no one's hit me, and one guy pops his golden gun, kills me in one shot. I'm like, okay, I suppose that's fair enough. All right? Same thing happens, except this guy pops a Hammer of Soul. No one's hit me, and I hit him first. I get right up next to him and slash him. Takes his shield away. He throws one hammer at me, instant death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, no, that's out of order. Same game, I changed to the golden gun. So, I don't know, it probably wasn't the same guy. They were all using it in this game. Someone pops that while I've got a golden gun. He runs around the corner, I shoot him in the face, takes his shield off, he kills me in one hammer. And I'm like, that isn't even vaguely balanced. That's not even like... That is the definition of unfair. You get a ranged attack and a melee and kill me in one hit, whereas I have to hit you twice with both of my supers. It's outrageous. I don't know how anyone isn't complaining about this. Sorry, I'm completely triggered. You talk for a while.
No, it's like the interplay with the supers I don't quite understand still. You know, like I don't know which super trumps other supers because sometimes it seems like the Titan ones trump all of them. Like I've had a guy that was using Fist of Havoc just sponge a golden gun shot too and just stomp me. Like I don't know. I don't understand all that crap. Like I just kind of play it and see what happens because most of the time you can't really make sense of it, you know. But
yeah, maybe this is the wrong game for me to be like, well, that meta's not matched up and all this kind of stuff. And it's especially bad because the Taken King's come out, so people have just done their new character and are using the new special. But PvP is all Hammer of Soul, guys, and it's just like, it would be fine if I could Blade Dancer them. Like, if I saw them coming and I had my super and I popped mine and like could go toe to toe, didn't get hit by a hammer and could actually hit him and kill him, fine. But if I can't and he can kill me in one hit, that's not cool. That's a bit out of order. And I know that guy has a Fellwinter's Lie. All right, so just in case, like his super runs out and he's gonna whip out his Fellwinter's Lie and kill me in one shot anyway. Like,
because there is that interplay between like a Radiance Warlock and a Blade Dancer, you know, like you can win a fight. Like it's kind of a back and forth who's gonna win that fight if you guys are both supered. But
yeah.
Yeah, you're right. A Hammer of Soul guy's probably just gonna dig on you.
They dick on everyone. That's all I see at the moment, especially in that zone control playlist where you can get legendary marks for a win, kind of like Iron Banner. You only get the reward if you win.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
All that is Fellwinter's Lie, Hammer of Soul. Like, full teams of 6. You know, all right, fair enough. You guys would be an Iron Banner right now if it was on, but it isn't. So you're in here wrecking my shit. So, yeah. It's funny. Right, now let's talk guns, right?
Yeah.
What's your favorite gun in the game that you have?
New or year 1 or year 2 or
overall,
it doesn't matter. Probably the Might Multi-Tool. You'll notice that a lot of Halo players use the Might Multi-Tool with the Radiant Dance Machines and a Hunter because it boosts your base speed up really high, so you can actually outstrafe people. And people don't understand strafing like that in this game. They're not used to it. It just like makes their head explode. It's great.
Yeah, they're really. Even I know that. You know, I don't lose gunfights very often, let me put it that way about this. Like, I'll play solo, control, I'll get like 30 plus kills, like 7 caps or something stupid and still lose quite regularly.
Yeah.
I don't have the Mighty Multi-Tool. There's one reason. What did you say with Radiance Dance Machines? Are those exotic boots?
Yeah, they're Hunter boots so like Radiant Dance Machines give you an agility boost, and Might Multi-Tool gives you an agility boost, and those stack on top of each other.
So you've got +4 agility.
Yeah, basically. Like, you've got a max agility character, so your base speed is almost as fast as your sprint, it feels like. So you just have that responsiveness when you're strafing back and forth.
I really like that. See, there's one thing that I like about the Mighty Multi-Tool, which I've read, which is you always have the radar on as well.
Yeah.
So you're like the fastest character in the game, can outstrafe everyone, and can always see the radar.
Yeah, and you can always ADS, and like you can ADS around corners and stuff. It's like Stalker, basically.
Yeah, that is when I first started playing the game. And if you're new watching this and you're like, I came here for COD, Ed, this isn't COD, right? One of the things that no one explains to you when you first play Destiny is that when you first pick, say, like a hunter, and he's really slow and sluggish, and it seems like everyone else moves at 1,000,000 miles an hour, that's because they are, and you are really slow, right? They've got weapons and armor which boost their stats. They've got passives on which change the way that they come out of sprint, all that kind of stuff. And I didn't know any of that. I thought it was much more like Halo, like where everyone was kind of just default, and the classes had specific changes. No, the weapons and armor you have make a absolutely huge difference in PvP.
Yeah.
Like even non-Iron Banner, right, which is light based, but like just normal. Like I would love a Mighty multi-tool because I like scout rifles in this game. Like I like using them in PvP. It's just I've got the bad juju, so if I want to win, that's what I use.
There's no doubt that like the people that have played for an extended amount of time before, you know, taking King are people that have been playing since the game came out, have a distinct advantage in like choices and builds and setups and almost anything when it comes to PvP. Like the PvP in this game must have been a nightmare to balance because it's not, I wouldn't say it's balanced, but it's as close as they can conceivably get probably if they nerf their shotguns. And there's still like the amount of things and variables that go into PvP would be absolutely absurd to like, I wouldn't want to be that guy at Bungie that's like, you got to figure out how to make this armor balance with that one and this setup on this character and this class, like this super, like it's insane.
Yeah, there's so many variables. I've always felt that about you know, when people go on about COD balance, I'm like, there's like 60 guns.
Yeah, like just,
like
just whatever.
You know, whatever. Like, all right, okay, there's going to be one setup that's, you know, the best. Okay, fair enough. That's probably true. You know, that is probably true. And I'll say this about the shotguns in Destiny, like, if they were, like, if you didn't start with special ammo, I'd be okay with it. Like, if you didn't have default, you get 8 shots or something when you start with a shotgun? You get 4.
I think
like
you get
4
a magazine
maybe.
plus a couple in the, you know, reserves.
Yeah, that's it. Like, if you didn't start with that, I wouldn't have as much of a problem, because then it would be about patrolling those pickups. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but no one gives a shit about the special ammo pickups in PvP. No one cares. It's like, I'll get it if it's there. But if you didn't start with it every spawn, you would give a shit, right? It would make the game better, right?
I will say this though, like they've significantly reduced how much special it was available on the map, and heavy too. Like they've at the beginning of the game, it was absolutely absurd the amount of special sitting around, and then also the amount of heavy. Like you would kill someone with heavy, and they would drop their heavy ammo for you to pick up. And they took all that away, and then they put timers on it and put, you know, kind of changed the amount of heavy ammo crates on the map and stuff like that. So they've done things to encourage primary usage a little bit, but they haven't really, like, I'm not a game designer, you know, like I wouldn't say that I would do this better or whatever. Like if it were up to me, I would overhaul almost everything. You know, I would have heavy spawn very rarely in one central place on the map. I would have like your supers you wouldn't even get passively. You would only get them from picking up orbs of light that spawn centrally on the map, like on an off timer or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I would make it more like Halo, but that's just me because I'm that guy. But
yeah, you're the Halo fan. No, yeah. I do get it. Like Frito's always saying, like he's funny. He's always saying to me, you know, well, if you want to balance COD, you know, you put these really powerful weapons in the center of the game, and I'm like, yeah, but then the game becomes about those things. I want a game where people use their primaries. Like that's what always annoyed me. That's what made me call Destiny just like a cave shooting simulator. All those things. That's what actually pissed me off. It's like there's fun to be had here. It's just completely obfuscated by supers and grenades, all this crazy shit that people get for free. Yeah. Right? Which means that the actual, if there is gun skill in the game with that much aim assist, all of that is completely washed away by this sea of crap, which I could not give less of a shit about. Now coming back in year 2, it is a little more bearable. Like it is, like I'm playing it a lot. And for the first time, I feel like I'm playing, when I used to play COD, I used to, when a new COD came out, I used to want to play it a lot and figure out my best setup and create my build and do all that kind of stuff. The RPG element of COD, which made it so successful. And now I'm doing that with Destiny. I'm like, right, okay, so I need to go and do this quest, and I need to make sure I've got my strange coins for when Xur comes along, so I can, buy something cool, all that kind of stuff, and see what it's like in PvP. Because at heart, I'm still a multiplayer shooter guy. Like I do play Destiny's PvE, and like I play the Heroic Strike playlist and everything, just so I can get good shit. That's the only reason I play it. Like I don't pay attention. Like maybe this is bad. This is how you can tell I'm an imposter, how I'm not a real Destiny fan, is I don't pay attention to the story. I don't care about what's happening. They could, all of the strikes, be shoot these grey boxes in a bigger grey box. Like that, genuinely, it could be that way. Like, I don't care. I mean, do you give a shit about the story? Do you care? I mean...
I think the story's definitely improved. And aesthetically, I think this game's like a cut above. Like, I think that, like, art direction wise, Destiny is one of the best console games out there when it comes to that stuff. Like, I think it's a good looking world with like interesting looking characters and armor and weapons and stuff like that. Like, I think just as a whole, the whole aesthetic package is really interesting. Do I think that it's like a fucking masterwork of storytelling? No, like it's definitely better, but for the most part, like, I love the co-op PvE aspects. Like, I love the raids, and I love playing strikes, and like you said, it's all a big loot grind. And if they make those weapons and armor something that's desirable to you, then yeah, that makes that whole quest to do it worthwhile. And can we just talk about like how much more content there is now? Like how
go ahead, because like, I described it as a hollow game in the first year, especially when it first came out. So you tell me and my fans how much content there is in this game.
No, it really sold me. After that, like, people talk about how the 5-hour story in Taken King, was just like a 5-hour story and it's not really worth the money. But in my opinion, like, after that 5-hour story, which is pretty damn well improved, I would say it's like doubly better than the original vanilla story. There's just quests that you could, like, the amount of quests stacked upon quests is absolutely absurd. And each one of them has a tangible reward that's deliverable, that's something you want, that you want to work for. And some of the quests may be a little bit repetitive, but nowhere near the level of vanilla Destiny repetition. And a lot of them have interesting like context and storyline mixed in with them. And I don't know, I mean, I've been playing on one character for since launch, I would say like 40 hours, maybe more, and I still haven't finished all the quests.
Yeah, the one thing I'll say is, like, doing the Vanguard strikes, to me, in year one, I've tried multiple times to get into Destiny, because I feel that anything that's like got this many people playing it and is this popular and is outstripping COD, is like, there's not nothing there, right? It's probably me, right? That's what I think. So I have tried several times to get into Destiny, and before the Taken King and the 2.0 patch, like, I'd get to a certain point where I'd like, well, PvP doesn't reward you at all, really. And it still doesn't, which is something that I think is totally outrageous. Like, if you're going to replace Vanguard and Crucible marks with just one type of mark, and then say, well, you know how you used to get marks in Crucible? Now you don't. Like, that's... Alright, fuck off. That's a bit out of order. Alright, look, if I play a game, just give me 5 marks, please. Like, that would be fair. So I can grind out strikes all day. Of course I can. But, like, maybe I want to play a couple of games of PvP and earn a new gun, you bellends. I thought you liked grind. Anyway, so aside from that trigger, the questing system. Before, it was do the same shit over and over again, and you might get something,
for the
but
chance.
There's no guarantee. But chance. You might get something, there's no guarantee. And now it's like, no, if you do something, you will get a reward. And I cannot tell you how much of a big difference to someone like me who doesn't like grinding in games, aside from grinding at my own skill. Like, that is a massive incentive. Also, if I do a heroic strike, I'm going to get at least like 4 blue drops, maybe a legendary, and maybe an exotic. That's worthwhile. That's not wasting my time. Just doing strikes and being like, well, something could drop once in a blue fucking moon, and you got to do, how many hours I got to do this for? Right, that's not cool. Now it's much better. much, much better and much more rewarding. And the individual quests, like how you can get Crucible quests, and you can get Vanguard quests, and you can get character-specific quests, and you can get subclass-specific quests, I'm like, this is a much more well-rounded game. And it also has the benefit of having all the Vault of Glass raids and Crota raid, Dark Below, and, you know, not that anyone plays like House of Wolves, but still House of Wolves, and, you know, and the Taken King. Now it feels like the game it should have been, to me.
Yeah, overall, just like there's more depth, there's more things to do, there's lots of activities. I mean, there's like, if you really wanted to, go back and play Prison of Elders and, you know, play the old raids, and still there's a whole like breadth of content ahead of you with Taken King. Like I said, I've been playing. I mean, dude, I took 2 days off work for launch, and I played for like 12 hours a day, and I still, after all that, have not finished one character. Whereas back in the older expansions, you know, you would have like 15 hours worth of content that you would do on all 3 characters and then repeat that every week, you know?
Yeah.
It's just a different, I think they have a different attitude about it, where they're embracing that RPG side, which they've always kind of skewed it more towards like a first person shooter with RPG over here, like 35% RPG and then the rest shooter. Whereas now I think they're kind of like, they're skewing that line a little bit further over to where it's more of an RPG. And even like the classes themselves, the new subclasses sort of feed into that too, because a lot of them feel more like archetypes from like Dota or some other RPG or something like that, where it's like they feel more I would say RPG oriented than shooter oriented, you know?
Yeah, that's something I appreciated about it. Like I was like, this feels like an RPG in which you shoot now.
Yeah.
Like that, I always felt like with, you know, with Frito, with Brian, with other people who have dissed the game, I think rightfully so in year one. I'm still not going to take that back. There's a lot of stuff that I said that I still agree with about year one. Year two is a different story. And it's like, before it felt like this is a platform. Like, I've seen some people say that year one was like an extended beta that people paid for. And I think I could sniff that when I first played it. And I didn't know that they were planning on doing this for year two. And I did, obviously you can't see the future back then, but I think I sniffed that out and was like, this is really bare bones. And it's like the game isn't a game yet. And obviously there are all those rumors about content being cut, and is it just Activision money grabbing and all that kind of stuff. The fact is, I don't know if you agree, that you're much better having never played Destiny getting it now than you were playing year one. At least that's my opinion.
No, I would 100% agree. Like, Dell getting into it now, like, he's only been playing for the last few days, and he's like, this is all fucking sick, dude. Like, what are you talking about? And I was like, man, you skipped, like, all the bullshit. Like, you skipped months and months of bullshit, and now you're into the really good stuff. And in my opinion, like, year one, I think part of it was Activision putting their hands into the pot, and kind of not really giving the freedom of direction that they probably should have. I think a lot of it was Activision bullshit. And then I think a lot of it was Bungie not really knowing how to make this kind of game yet. I think that they probably were a little overconfident with knowing how to make like an MMO style game, and then also, like, I mean, if you think about it, like an always online MMO style shooter hasn't really been done on a console before. Like, Borderlands may come close, but that's not always online, you know, like seamless connections multiplayer wise. So I think they're a little overconfident with what they could do and get done and deliver and have it be good. And I think they're kind of now hitting their stride, and maybe Activision saw that, you know, them putting their hands in the pot like that is kind of ruining the game, and maybe they took a step back. Maybe it all came together, and it's just kind of weird, because I think that this game, like you said, there's something there. There's a lot of people playing it, and I think there's going to be even more people now, you know. It's kind of weird to see a new franchise on that upward swing, like on that upper escalation, where
like already popular, but like looks like it could go to the next height of popularity.
Yeah, exactly.
And all, I might add, while not being known for fantastic multiplayer. Like, you know, that is true, though. A lot of people play this game and hardly ever touch Crucible.
Yeah.
And this is kind of... I know Borderlands has been successful, and I know another game on PC, which a lot of people tell me all the time, Warframe is just, you know, Destiny is just a poor man's Warframe. And I can accept that, but Warframe doesn't have multiplayer. It doesn't have the whole package. Do you know what I mean? And Borderlands didn't have multiplayer. I'm saying multiplayer as in competitive multiplayer, not just play with your friends, which is what a lot of people do with Destiny. But there is that option to play Crucible.
I think Warframe does have a PvP mode, but I don't know that it's not like as big of a focus. Whereas, like people.
I thought it didn't have one.
I think I saw a video by a guy where he was talking about the PvP mode. Maybe it was like Matimio or one of those guys.
Wow, if I've made that error, I'd look like a fucking idiot. Oh well, people knew that anyway. Sorry, Warframe fans, but the 7 of you that are screaming at my video right now, I'm not really worried about. Sorry about that. So yeah, like my point was that not every game can do all these things, right? And I think both of us, I think this is fair to say. You and I both say that it tries to pull in seven million different directions at once and succeeds at some more than others, but at least they're there, right? That's how I feel about the game now. It's like, I like playing the PvP. I like using the bad juju because the gunfights are satisfying. Yeah, it's got some shit in it, but, I'm a COD player. I can't say fucking anything.
Yeah, I would agree. It does some things better than others. I think the PvE is now really hit its stride. I think the PvP is going to need some serious tweaking in the future. I would like to see them just overhaul the whole thing. PvP
I was going to say let's end the dual com with what changes. You are king for a day, Lurker. What changes to Crucible? Crucible needs the most work. So what changes right now if it's going to be done in half an hour? What changes would you do right now?
Nerf shotguns.
How do you nerf shotguns so that they're still relevant but not ultra frustrating?
In my opinion, nerf, like they said they were going to do in the patch 2.0 notes, I would nerf rangefinder and shot package on high impact shotguns, and then I would what I think they were going for is to get the sandbox back under control. You know what I mean? Because it was pretty out of line, all the crap you could do and all you could customize. So I think they nerfed down some of the perks that were really powerful, and they were gonna do more give and take perks. So there's those perks where it's you get more range but your reload's slower. They wanted that kind of trade off. But those
still can I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm I would, if I had a fucking shotgun and there was a perk that let me triple the fucking one-shot range, and you were like, well, you reload slow. I ain't going to be fucking reloading. Everybody's dead. I don't have to worry about reloading under fire.
Yeah. I mean, I would reorder some of those perks, and I would nerf down shotguns like you were saying. And then I would filter those out of the sandbox so that the ones that people have aren't useful, and then you don't come out with more different variants of those. You get that one from the story, the conspiracy theory, that's basically a Felwinter's. It's a Felwinter's. Who are we kidding here? And everyone gets it for free. Why are you still filtering these into the sandbox? People hate these things. Get them out of here.
Which gun is that? I haven't got that. What gun is it called? Conspiracy theory.
Yeah. It's a Felwinter's. It is.
Does it have shot package as well?
It has rangefinder. Okay. And then the other day I was playing Crucible and I got a party crasher that dropped on for me.
Those are the ones I see.
Why are you still giving me a party crasher?
Yeah, I see Party Crasher +1. I see Conspiracy Theory. And I see Felwinter. And they're always the ones that kill me in one shot.
Yeah.
See, okay, so what would I do to nerf the shotgun? Because I agree with you. Okay, so there's one point, nerf the shotguns. What I would do to nerf the shotguns is I would make them have more range, but do less damage and fire quicker. Yeah. So I would make them so that you could engage slightly further away, but it would take 3 shots.
I mean, if it were up to me, you'd only be able to one-shot, if you're making out with a guy. You would have to be, so close that it was, unbelievable. You could not kill someone with a shotgun at that range. And then, anything past that, you would have to, melee afterwards or something like that.
Yeah, the reason I would do that, why it would take 3 shots, I would actually take one-shotting out of the game. I would say, no, if you're right up close to them, within the gun's actual range, it's a 2-shot kill.
Yeah.
Is because I think if you have one shot in the game, that leaves it open for one-shot melee. And that is fucking annoying because it teleports people towards you. Because of the problem with the melee system. Not an inherent problem, but because the melees have range, because of that, especially your character's ability one, because of that, I'm taking one-shot guns out of the game apart from sniper headshots. No, sorry, you want to get into a shotgun fight, it's a 2-shot within its proper range, but it will fire quicker. It will go like boom, boom.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
go ahead.
So I'm just saying, like, proper, that removes the being jump fucking fell-wintered, it removes the fucking slide fell-wintering. That's what I really fucking don't like. Is I really don't like someone like sprinting, I'm shooting, I cannot kill them in the time it takes them to close this distance. I'm already dead.
Yeah.
Right? Even if you jump back, even if you jump away, I've got a Zim, I've got a keyboard. Even if you jump away or double jump away, he's going to catch you with the melee. You are dead.
Or a throwing knife, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I mean, they've taken a different direction with it. Like, overall, the abilities and the multiplayer plays out in a different way. Like, sometimes I think that my whole, like, ingrained multiplayer experience is, like, it skews my view. Like, maybe this is what they want to do, and they want to be, like, have more of an RPG style first-person shoot. I don't know, like maybe they're trying to invent new first-person shooter genres where your melee reaches across rooms and gives you an overshield and crap. I don't know, but like maybe that's like what the kids want to play now.
Yeah, I don't know what the kids want to. I don't know what the kids want to play anymore either, because I play CS:GO, where CS:GO is kind of like the ultimate competitive shooter. Everything that happens has a reason, right? So there aren't really power weapons in that game, apart from the AWP, I suppose. But like, there's a counterbalance to those things. I think the main problem with Destiny's PvP, with Crucible, is that after a while I can play it for a bit and I go, there's just too many things that kill me in one hit. Just too many. It's not that I don't like heavy ammo being there. That's fine. But there's also supers, and there's grenades, and there's the Fellwinters. I'm like, that's too much.
Yeah.
That's too much in one game, right? Because I can be in a lobby against 6 Titans that all have Hammer of Soul, that all of them have Conspiracy Theory or the Fellwinters, and they can, if you're playing an organised team of 6, they'll control one heavy ammo, if not both, right? Because your team are fucking, I don't know, looking at the scenery or some shit, right? And they're going to control the game anyway. They're going to get all the flags. They were going to win anyway, but they'll win even quicker because of all the bullshittery that's in the game.
Have you been?
So
have you been mercy ruled or gotten mercy ruled yet?
I got mercy ruled joining late in a Rift game.
Yeah.
Never been mercy ruled in domination or control. Sorry.
Yeah, at least there's that. I mean, at least they kind of understand that their game's so pub stompy that people don't want to stay in it if they're getting wrecked that hard, you know?
There are genuinely some people who I am like, why? I'm grateful that you're there because you were on my team this game, but next game you'll probably be against me. You're going like 3-17. How can you go 3-17? How is it possible? With the aim assist in that game, what are you doing?
Yeah, some of the teammates in Destiny, epically bad. Like,
yeah.
So we didn't even talk about teammates. How bad they
yeah, all right. I can't patch in better teammates. Okay, fair enough. Okay, so one change that I would do. Okay, so I think, so what's problematic? Grenades and some of the shotguns are definitely problematic, and some of the supers aren't quite balanced yet for how they work with each other. I'm sorry, but a golden gun should kill any super. It should kill anything. Anything in the Crucible, it should kill. Because otherwise, you're right. And this is another thing that I forgot when I was triggered about the Hammer of Soul, is he can throw as many fucking hammers as he likes. The fucking poor little golden gun guy's got 3 shots, 4 with armor. You know, like,
yeah.
I can kill a max. All right, okay. I suppose targets can explode and kill others, but they've got to be right next to each other to do that. Like, he can only get 3 or 4 kills. That's it. The soul guy can be like, right, I'm going to run to this flag, kill everyone there, I'm going to kill this guy. Oh, I've got 12 kills. And I was just like, that's stupid. So balance those. Those need to be looked at. Grenades, how do you... No fucking bullshit fucking grenades from PvE, which are cool, which are like, this grenade hunts people down. No. PvP, I'm sorry. Everyone gets their first... You know the grenade tiers? Mm-hmm. Everyone gets their first basic one in Crucible. None of this extra shit. None of the second grenades, you know, where they splits up and then seeks people out. None of that. None of those ridiculous arc grenades that flare off for fucking ever. You know, basically no if you're going to have explosions that are lethal and have area of effect, I'm not okay with that. I'm not actually okay with area of effect. I'm especially not okay with that fucking trip mine.
Yeah. You can get the new gauntlets too. You can get 2 of them. Why not, right?
It's like 2 claymores. So yeah, anyway, that's what I would change.
Yeah.
Anything else you can think of?
No, nerf shotguns. Please, Bungie. God. Just
Bungie, please.
Nerf the
you're listening
shotguns.
You're listening to Eddie Chump and Lurker Zero say Bungie, please, for an hour. There you go. All right, man. Well, I think we've discussed everything about the game. Thank you very much for coming on this DualCon, by the way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man.
Guys, Lurker's channel will be in the description. Is this going up on your channel as well, I guess, Lurker?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. We'll have each other's links everywhere. Check Lurker out. It makes really good